Hello and hi. How are we doing today? Yeah, that's great. Great opening. Anyway, today we are talking Bundesliga stuff and specifically what's going on at the moment. At the moment, we're in winter break, so there's not really any matches going on. That'll be over with tomorrow, I think. I think Dortmund plays tomorrow, I believe. I could be wrong about that. Anyway, um, yeah, so today we're just doing kind of like a check-in with the standings, seeing how things are going. Um, we're in the middle point of the season, so it's a good time to check in and see what's going on. The Bundesliga is my favorite. Here's my favorite league to watch in Europe personally. Um, I just think it's great. Yeah. So the way we're gonna do this is I'm going to go in order from the Dritzliga all the way to the Bundesliga. So we'll start there, talk about the Bundesliga 2, and then talk about the Bundesliga itself. I think that's a good way to do it. So we can kind of see who's up, who's down, how things are turning out. I think it's a very good way to do things. Um, I am a little under the weather at the moment, so bear with me. Uh, Not feeling the greatest, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I think I think we're in a good spot right now. Um, in terms of like how the Bundesliga usually plays out. Obviously, Bayern is up on top, and then you have Dortmund and Leverkusen kind of chasing, and that's fine. That's kind of what I think most people expected. It's right now Bayern just has a really good team. Harry Kane is just he's breaking records apparently, um, and that's Bayern. That's what they do. So like I know there's some people who are going to be like, "Oh yeah, the Bundesliga is boring because Bayern wins everything." That's not really true. Like they don't always win the Pokal. They don't always they didn't win the Bundesliga 2 years ago. Um, Leverkusen did, and then they're still chasing a Champions League title as far as I'm aware. Like I know they've won it, but ooh, my chest just like bleh. I know they've won it, but like they don't win everything. Like they're not Madrid levels of annoying, at least yet. So there's still hope. There's still hope. This isn't like a they can be brought down if our clubs just do their thing and play better. They can be defeated. So without further ado, we're gonna talk about the Dritzliga first. So follow me to this. All right, so we're on Flash Score. We're gonna look at. I apologize for the ads. I I I don't have an ad blocker. Can't really do anything about that right now. But we're gonna talk about the standings, see where everybody is at, and then yeah, we'll see how that goes. So right off the gate, I've actually been really enjoying the Dritzliga this year. I think I've watched more Dritzliga matches than I have Bundesliga matches. Uh, it's really good. It is really good. So for starters in first base, we have Kabas. They are up with 36 points, and they have 11 wins, 3 draws, 5 losses. And they drew and then lost their last couple matches. So they're kind of they're doing all right. You know, they drew Rosenberg and then lost to Wigan. So they're doing what they can. They're on top. They just barely squeaked by, and I'll talk about that here in a second. And then we have Viral, who won against Munich 1860, and then drew against Essen. So nobody on the top is really dominating in terms of like points, and I think that's actually made it really fun. Like There's still, like, Essen can still come up. Rostock can still come up. Osnabrück can still come up. Hoffenheim too. I don't think they can. The teams that have a two in their name, you're kind of stuck. But like everybody else here can has potential to like jump up at any time, and it's pretty great. Um, Duisburg wasn't first for a while. They've been playing very well. They drew NU, and then they drew Victoria Köln. So they've been kind of falling off a little bit, but yeah, it's great to see Duisburg back in the Dritzliga. They're a club with a lot of history. I think that's fun, and we already have plans for that. Yeah. I'm actually managing them right now in Football Manager, so I do kind of have a soft spot for Duisburg at the moment. But yeah, it's good to see them back. Now we'll talk about the relegation zone because that's important. We have Swinford who are doing the absolute worst. They have probably no chance at this point of catching up and getting to a relegation spot. Their best hope would be to get into the middle and just like hold on as long as they can. Same with TSV Ulm and Armaniaken. All four of these clubs are not doing particularly well. They're struggling. Swinford has 17 losses and only 2 wins. They ain't doing too good. Um, they're not. They're struggling. And then same with TSV, same with Ulm, and same with Aachen. They are struggling. Now we'll move on to the Bundesliga 2 and talk about that a little bit. All right, we have Schalke in first place. Schalke's a pretty solid club. They kind of bounce in and out of the Bundesliga from time to time. They're pretty good. I like them. I don't really follow them all that much, but glad to see that they're there. Then we have Iversberg, who is in second place. They drew with Munster and have taken control of that. Same with kind of the Dritzliga. Um, the Bundesliga 2 has been kind of like it's been really competitive. Like a lot of these clubs are just kind of bouncing around on the standings at the moment, and it's been really fun to watch. Darmstadt is has that third place spot. They could play for promotion. They're only 1 point behind Iversberg, so they could really they could pass Iversberg if they keep it together. Their last match they drew against Paderborn, so they drew against a team that they're tied with. So that's good. That's good thing. And then we have Hanover in fifth, Hertha Berlin in sixth, Kaiserslautern in seven, Nuremberg in eight. Bochum is stuck in the middle at 10. They got relegated from the Bundesliga last year, and it was deserved. It was deserved. Holstein Kiel is in 11th, right with them, with only 1 point behind. I have a soft spot for Kiel. I really wanted them to stay in the Bundesliga last year, and it's cool to see that like they're still fighting. They're in the middle right now, but like they absolutely could like throw themselves back up if they need to. Like they could catch up. There's time. Um, I personally think they should focus on just seeing how high they can get on the board here. If they don't get promoted, that's okay. I think it's better for them to set themselves up for next season than to like chase a promotion here. But like, if I was Kiel, I would just see because Kiel can beat these teams. Like they made it to the Bundesliga once, they can do it again. Um, so we'll see how that goes. And then we'll talk about the relegation zone here. We have Dresden in last place with 10 losses. Yeah, this was kind of inevitable. Dresden has not been playing particularly great. And then we have Fürth in 17 and Dusseldorf in 16th. Dusseldorf can save themselves still. They're tied with Magdeburg, so they could still throw themselves up. Same with like Fürth. Fürth probably could too, although their record isn't great at this time. So we'll see. We'll watch this. It's a fun thing to go through. But yeah, now let's talk about the Bundesliga. So right away, Bayern is 10 points clear of Dortmund at this time. I don't think Dortmund can catch up unless Bayern's season goes catastrophe wrong. It isn't going to happen. I think Bayern pretty much has this in the bag. It's over. There's no race here. For second, however, there definitely is. Like Leverkusen could catch up to Dortmund. Leipzig could catch up. Hoffenheim is doing very well right now. They're pushing for a league spot for the Europa League. Stuttgart could have a Conference League spot. So this could be fun. This could be good. And at this point, I think if you're a German club and you make it into the Champions League, you're doing pretty good. Like, you might be struggling here and there, but I think if, like, you can make it into the Champions League, you're doing all right. You're doing good. We'll talk about Frankfurt here. They are in 7th. They drew Hamburg. Union Berlin is in 8th. Freiburg in 9th. Bremen in 10th. And Köln in 11th. Now let's talk about relegation because that is important. Mainz is in last place, which surprised me. I did not expect Mainz to do as bad as they have. They have been really struggling. It hasn't been the greatest. And then Heidenheim, okay, we'll talk about Heidenheim for a little bit. Heidenheim probably should have been relegated last season. They were in the 16th spot last season. They played a qualification to stay in the Bundesliga and they ended up winning, but it was like they probably should have been relegated. Unfortunately, in that 16th spot is St. Pauli, and I don't want to see them drop. I really don't. I'm hoping they have a chance. They can pass Augsburg. I think they can do it. They've shown potential. They deserve to be here. I think. They should be like a middle of the pack team at this point. They've done the work. It makes me kind of sad to see them like potentially in the relegation zone. But yeah, this is kind of how we stand right now. We have Cottbus in first, Schalke in first, and then Bayern in first. So we're doing what we can. Like I said, the Dritzliga and the Bundesliga 2 are all both very competitive right now. This is definitely going to change. I think. And then with the Bundesliga itself, I think it's going to be a race for who gets second place. Ultimately, maybe they should just start doing like second place trophies or something. Bayern is just too far ahead at this point. I don't think, like I said, unless their season just goes insanely wrong from like now to the end of the season, I think they have it. I think that the first place race is pretty much over. Second could be interesting. Second could be fun. I think that's fine. And then the relegation battle will be fun. St. Pauli and Heidenheim, I think both could potentially save themselves. Mainz, maybe. I mean, they're on 8 points, but they're playing pretty bad. So that could be a big no. Ultimately, I think if you're in the relegation zone, your best bet is probably just to get out of the relegation zone and focus on just staying in the league at this point. We're in that the point in time where if you were gonna push for first place, you probably should have done it before the winter break. So with the winter break ending, now it's just we'll see where everything goes. And yeah, that's I think that's a good way to bring this to a close. We are gonna be doing a live stream of Leverkusen's first match in the second half of this season against Frankfurt, and it's gonna be fun, I think. Uh, so that will be Saturday, 11:30 Central Time, U.S. Central Time, for me. So yeah, hang out with me there. That would be cool. And yeah, expect some short videos here soon. And do you want more stuff like this? Because I kind of I like talking about this stuff because I find it really interesting. I like looking at the tables and talking about how clubs are doing. So if you want more, let me know. Yeah, alrighty. Um, Goodbye.